The book John Crow, though, I mean, Jamaicans have a very interesting relationship with that type of character, and so this perspective you're giving to us from the vantage point of a duckling or a baby vulture. How did you get into? How did you come by that perspective to be able to weave that into a full blown story?
Good question. um, yeah, man, no, just creativity, brother, it's inspiration. I mean,
The premise of the
yeah.
whole sort of pandemic, staying home, he made more family time, which is the follow-up to family time that he did in 2009, which is a children family record. And while our whole family was sort of like living with this new record that he was making, because he was making it at home, it just felt John Crow was just sort of like a child of that entire energy, because it was all happening at the same time. He was recording this record, More Family Time, with guests like Alanis Morissette, Ben Harper, um, who else was on the
Sheryl
record?
Crow.
Sheryl Crow.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
he had lots of Lisa Loeb. So this record was sort of like being coming together at home, and Little John Crow came out, was happening at the same time. So I think just giving, him having the time and the space to be at home and really, spend time with us, his family. It's probably the most time we've ever spent together as a husband and wife and as a
Mm.
family. So that's sort of how John Crow came to be.
Yeah, and then my imagination, I'm like a child still. I'm like, my imagination it flourishes. It's very alive and well. And I mean, I still watch cartoons. I still read comics. Like, so my childlike thing inside of me is still is a part of who I am, and I think that influences like how I came up with the story and the idea for starting him as a little baby and then make him grow up. But I tell the truth, it's not. You don't really have an explanation for some of the things them or how the creativity happen. It just kind of happen, and we can't really explain everything about it.
No, I mean that's fine. It is what it is. It's just I was curious as to because obviously John Crow is as a cultural reference for Jamaicans. We have a particular way of thinking and responding to John Crow, and this one is kind of challenging that perception that we have about this thing. Because now you're seeing this story through the eyes of a child, and the child is covering what the parents do for a living, and just his own reactions.
Yeah,
That makes it
yeah,
it goes into more than just a fantastical story about a young bird that discovers something. What are some of the themes if you that unfolded? Because is this how you had planned to tell the story, or it just kind of started to happen this way? You just let it flow.
Well, it has something to do with my own perception too. As you said, we in Jamaica we have a perception of Jankro, right? Jankro, if you call somebody a Jankro, it's a bad thing, right? It's a negativity.
Yeah,
So when I was growing up, I mean, Jankro was bad. To me, it was a negative thing. But as I began to grow and traveling around the world and being more enlightened or educated about vultures, Jankro, my own perception of them changed. And to me now, my perception today of Jankro isn't like a bad negative thing, but it's actually a good thing. We need Jankro. If we don't have Jankro, it's gonna be really, we're gonna have a problem. The world is gonna have a
yeah,
problem. Community is gonna have a problem. And so I think a lot of the story based upon my own changing of my own perception. And I am probably one of the friends of Little Jankro who was like, Jankro nasty, no, someone don't want to be no friend with no Jankro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm coming from that place. I'm one of those friends, you know what I'm saying?
yes,
And then
yes, 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 yes,
and
yes.
then I put myself in the place of Little Janko, finding out the importance of himself, finding out the importance of vultures. That is also my journey, and
Yeah.
coming to realize the significance and importance that everything everything plays in our ecosystem. So yeah, I think a part of it is my own journey of getting out of the negativity of the idea of Jankro and finding the positivity in it.
And this isn't your first book, eh? You also wrote one about your dog. Well, give us a quick synopsis of that one before we jump to talk about your charity.
My dog Romeo, yeah, we get a dog recently. I grew up with dogs in Jamaica, right? So I had dog, but my kids, my wife, Orly, and our kids, they never had a dog before. So for years, the kids them bother me. Yo, man, Daddy, get us a dog. And Orly was like, no, why you never want a dog?
Because it would be another child, and we had 4 little kids, and we didn't want more the responsibility, because I just knew what it is in this day and age to have a dog, so
Right.
Yeah, but it's funny, like in America, dog, like when I was growing up in Jamaica, right? With dog is a dog, right? But here in America, dog is a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying?
it's a family
It's
member.
like,
Yeah.
So anyway, we
So
get a dog.
you really wanted to share that. I mean, the experience of getting this dog was obviously a completely different experience for you and the children, eh? So it was worth telling a story.
Yeah, man. I mean, things inspire me. As I said before, my imagination, and I'm inspired by animals and nature and things like that. So I write songs about anything. I write songs about things that happen around me. I can write a song every day because things around me inspire me to write songs. So the dog come in and it inspired me to write a song about him and the
He came in
experiences
right before the pandemic. He came
right
in
before quarantine.
Oh,
literally,
yeah.
he skidded by. It was like a week before shutdown here in Los Angeles. So
Yeah.
it was like he's a pandemic baby. Like he's
Yeah.
all he knows about us.
Okay, so Urge Unlimited Resources Giving Enlightenment. That's your nonprofit, your charitable organization. Give us more information about that and what you're doing with that to help young people.
So historically, Ziggy and his family have always just done the work, not really talked about it. There's never been a press release. There's never, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, the whole family really as a whole have always done a lot of work within the community, within their community in Jamaica, everywhere. And I would say about 20 years ago, we started something new where anytime Ziggy was on tour and people were buying tickets to come see him in concert, $1 from each ticket was going to Unlimited Resources Giving Enlightenment, which was his charitable organization. And that is how, over the years, we've been able to really do some amazing things. In addition to ticket sales, we've also done different collaborations with different brands like UGG a year ago, and different brands where if they want to work with Ziggy Marley, we're going to want you to also do something in Jamaica, something with Urge. So that is sort of like the premise of Unlimited Resources Giving Enlightenment. He's been working with different organizations like Mary's Child, which is a mustard seed organization. We
Right.
about 2009, we adopted Chepstow Basic School, and have been throughout the pandemic working on upgrading and remodeling that school to bring it up to standards so that God willing, the Ministry of Education will take over and start paying, and that way we can move on to other schools. That is really our hope. But just different things, dental clinics, health clinics. We've sort of stayed very true to working with children, to the benefit of children in Jamaica,
Right.
and also here in Los Angeles, and different places. If he's in Brazil, you'll see him going to different places and doing work with kids, orphanages and such. So he really, really lives that lifestyle, and we try to honor it by doing really worthwhile projects with the money that
and no doubt this new book, Spreading Some Creativity, is another way of expressing the inspiration and encouraging young people to see beyond, and to be encouraged to be all that they can be. what's next for both of you, and where can people buy the book? First of all, tell us that, and then tell us what we can look forward to.
So, Little John Crow and My Dog Romeo, and really everything he does is, I think, available via Amazon, and also some select independent bookstores in Jamaica. And
Yeah.
already,
Hmm?
if you want to talk about your new song.
Oh, new song. Yeah, music. I mean, music. We have more music coming out. We have a song coming out December 17th, like for the holiday season. It's gonna be a very special song, and we have some tours going on next year. Hopefully, if the COVID situation remain calm, we're traveling to Europe. We've been celebrating my father. Last year we were supposed to do a lot of shows celebrating Bob, my father. The COVID shut it down, so we've been trying to pick those back up as we go along. Where I go on tour and I play, my father's songs and celebrate him. We're still going to continue. I did a tour this year in America for that. We're heading to Europe next year to do that also. Yeah, but music, and then whatever else come up. Me still have there's a comic book idea me have in mind. I want to do a comic book, and so I just creation.
Yeah. There you go. So the next thing may even be that comic book, the multi-hyphenate, multi-award winning Ziggy Marley and his lovely wife and mother of his little brood of, is it 5 or 4?
4. Well, with Romeo, it's 5.
4. 5 if you count Romeo, yeah? 5 if you count Romeo. It is brood of 5. Ziggy Marley, and today we were talking about his authorship, because we know the music and all the awards. Thank you very much, guys. All the best with the book, and thank
you for having us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Love. Thank you.
Thank
Respect.
you.
Yeah.
All right. So there we go, and that takes us. Well, that's one of our little one of the bits that we're going to have for you today in today's show. So this is our Christmas season. We're kicking it off with a whole bunch of different things, and if you're just joining us, I'm going to tell you now about the e-update. According to Jamaica Observer, a life-size bronze statue of 8-time Olympic gold medalist Usain Bolt is to be installed at the Ansin Sports Complex in Miramar, South Florida, at a cost of $250,000 US. Jamaican American Miramar Commissioner Alexandra Davis said the sculpture of the world's fastest man will, and she quotes, I quote, will spur on economic development and serve as an inspiration for up-and-coming athletes of all ages and backgrounds. The artist Basil Watson has been commissioned to create the sculpture in Bolt's signature pose from a position of kneeling on one knee. The art piece will be funded in part by the Art in Public Places Fund, as well as Art in the Parks Capital Project, Davis said. It is expected to be ready to be mounted by October 2022, so that's in another 10 months, if you don't really count December, or if you count all of December, then yeah. So in another 10 months, that's going to be there. Tribute will also be paid to a global sprint icon, at the Anson Sports Complex when the Miramar Invitational happens in April 22, as well as the Coach O Invitational happening in June next year, and the NACAC New Life Invitational, which also happens in June, and that's June 12. In addition to having stamped his mark on the Olympics, Bolt is also an 11-time world champion. He retired, the retired Jamaican sprinter, who is also nicknamed the Lightning Bolt. He still holds the record in the 100 meters, the 200 meters. At one point, he did also, well, he no longer has the 300 meters. I was going to tell you guys that he also has the record for the 150. He probably still has it, 100, 150, 200, 300, 4x1. Yeah, we say congrats to Bolt and wish him all the best as he continues to make Jamaica proud. Gospel songbird Tiffany Levy is gearing up for the release of her brand new single called The Last Song. We've got a little bit of it, so let's take a listen to All right, so the track will be released on December 10th, that's 7 days from now, but it's now available on all streaming platforms for pre-order. You can also look out for more new music from Tiffany very, very soon, and also her album that is to be released, she said, sometime next year, June. On the international scene, according to gospelhotspot.net, gospel music veteran Kirk Franklin is set to warm hearts with his brand new TV movie, Kirk Franklin's A Gospel Christmas, which is set to air on December 4th, tomorrow, as part of It's a Wonderful Life holiday series that's on Lifetime. The movie will star Dimitri McKinney and Chaz Lamar Shepard, and it will feature an appearance from Kirk Franklin himself, who produced it and arranged the music for the film. Here's what the movie's about. So when Olivia Demetria McKinney, a young assistant pastor, gets assigned to be a lead pastor at a new church a month before Christmas, she's fearful she can't manage the transition, including getting the choir ready to open the town's annual winter jamboree. Banding together with her new congregation, Olivia discovers a new home for herself. And you know, a little Christmas romance along the way, featuring a special appearance and songs written and arranged by Kirk Franklin, as we said. Kirk Franklin's A Gospel Christmas is produced by Swirl Films and Big Dreams Entertainment. The executive produced by Kirk Franklin and Tracy Twinkie Bird, and produced by Leslie Grief. Erica Sutherland directs a script written by Courtney Richards. So we give all the credits to all the behind-the-scenes people. Listen to hear a little bit of the trailer.
Just some huge shoes to fill.
Well, maybe you're just supposed to be like you. I'm all too familiar with trying to be something I'm not.
And what was that?
Well, look at here. We have arrived. Pastor, it has been my pleasure spending my afternoon with you.
Please just call me Olivia. The pleasure was all mine.
Maybe I'll see you tomorrow.
It's a small town.
Okay. Have a good evening.
You do.
Support and enjoy one with your family on tomorrow. Well, it's on Lifetime, so if you're into that, that's where you're going to see it. Yeah. So the Christmas season is here, and sorrow is always one of those things that we associate and remember about Christmas because it's a staple in the homes of many during this time of year. But how much do you really know about this loved plant? Well, we're going to rely a little bit again on a nice feature from the Jamaica Observers. Jamaican sorrel, as your grandparents would be remiss not mentioning, it has a ton of other health benefits. Flower known as the rosella is a type of hibiscus which was introduced to Jamaica from Asia in the 18th century. This flower has been a holiday staple for longer than most of us can know, and will continue well after, or for some time, I'm sure. Even though sorrel is not just confined to Christmas anymore, it hasn't been for a few years, but certainly is one of those things that happens at Christmas. It gets a little special at Christmas, I should say. We steep the flowers in boiling water and add some ginger, some sugar if you like, and a little bit of that thing, some rum to make a bright red Christmas drink. Perhaps make people feel a little bright red as well. Anyway, there's so much more you can do with sorrel, and the feature suggests that there are ways to expand your sorrel horizon. So seasonal ice pops. So living in the tropics means we have to find a lot of different ways to cool down, even when the Christmas breeze is blowing. Cooling down is not really what I think about during Christmas, though, but like maybe warming up. But, sometimes the days can be a little warm, and then you might have the need for some sorrel. Sorrel pops are exactly what you may need, what you may be thinking. So homemade icicles made with pre-sweetened sorrel. Get yourself some popsicle molds, and you can make a couple of different sorrel pop options. We suggest putting bits of fruit as well as mixing a different type of fusion for variety. This is the perfect way to get some antioxidants into the little ones without them even knowing, and you're keeping them healthy. Even better, you can go ahead and spike your own mold for some adult pop. We've got homemade jellos. Don't worry, this is another option great for the children. Everybody loves jello. All right, most people love jello. And everyone's favorite jello is the red one. Make jello better with sorrel. All you need to do is to add some gelatin powder to your sorrel mixture. Make the jello a little more fun with layers of by allowing each layer to set before adding the next. Just as before, you can use this the same simple recipe to make jello shots or some other thing that you might want to make a salad. I'm not really thinking of a salad, but okay, here we go again. Start your food marathon with something light, refreshing, and delicious. Of course, you can just have the salad any and every day while it's in season if you want. You're going to use finely grated cabbage or torn or chopped lettuce to make the bite-sized cherries. Use some to make them bite-sized, right? So have some cherry tomatoes and any other vegetable you enjoy along with your prepared sorrel leaves, which make for a colorful and healthy salad. I don't know how that will taste. It seems like it's a whole lot. Oh, but I mean the leaves that you've left over from the actual steeping. That's interesting. That's a good way of utilizing everything. Oh, well, I guess if you're into that, that takes care of our brand new feature, Christmas Delight. You can expect to get some tips. That certainly is our Christmas feature. You can expect to get some tips on unique ways to be creative in the kitchen, in decorating your home for the Christmas, and even in gift giving. Every Friday, right here on Engage, your drive time, entertainment, and lifestyle choice on the family station. All right, that takes care of the updates for today. Do I go out, Nissan, or...
Yes, for a break, and of course,
all right, we'll take a break and we'll come back with some more. We've got movies, and what else do we have?
Charity.
Yeah, we've got movies and charity. We've got a weekend rundown. We have a music. Oh, a whole bunch more. All right, back in a moment.
Need to pass your CSEC CAPE exams to get that dream job or to qualify for university? Then Distinction College is the school for you. We have locations in Kingston, Spanish Town, St. Elizabeth, and Ocho Rios. Start day, evening, and Saturday classes this coming term and sit CSEC CAPE exams for January's resit or May, June. Maths, law, science, English. We have the lowest school fees. Register before the end of the month and win an entire term free. Call us at 354-8560.
Open up, it's at the time of the year. Float up, spread the Christmas cheer. To everybody, whether far or near. So make a Christmas party around here.
Get amazing gifts when you activate a 5-day or higher unlimited data plan or add your mobile to your home internet. Check your text messages and click the link to open up your gift from LTE tablets, supermarket vouchers, smartwatches, TVs, and much more. Get a gift every time.
Christmas comes alive. Look for your gift, them must arrive. Open your women's and it's our mobile plans and a Christmas gift that's dropping on your hand. Christmas have a sparkle, you know? Make it happen with flow.
Conditions apply.
Authorized under Section 58 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Invites members of the public to attend a vaccination site Saturday, December 4, Sunday, December 5, to receive their first or second dose of the AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson vaccine for persons 18 years and older. Jamaicans 12 years and older will also be offered the first and second dose of the Pfizer vaccine. Here are the sites for Saturday, December 4. Trelawney, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Falmouth and Duncan's Health Centers. Waitabit Health Center, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Kingston and St. Andrew, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Dehaney Park and Harborview Health Centers. Tarrant High School, Marbley Primary and Junior High School. J.N. Trevanion Park. Gainstead High School, AIDS Healthcare Foundation, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Paramount Trading, 39 Waltham Park Road, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. In St. Catherine, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Linstead Anglican Church, St. Jago Park Health Center, Greater Portmore Health Center, Old Harbor Civic Center, Kitson Health Center, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Vin's Pharmacy, Corlett's Road off Spanish Town Bypass. St. James, Montego Bay Comprehensive Health Center, Type 5, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Westmoreland, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Savannah Lamar Health Center, White House, Darliston, Negril Health Centers, Savannah Lamar Central Medical Center, and Royal Medical Center. Clarendon, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Denby High School, Edwin Allen High School, St. Elizabeth, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Black River and Santa Cruz Health Centers. Manchester, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Christiana Health Center and Mandeville Regional Hospital Vaccination Center. St. Anne, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. St. Anne's Bay Health Center, York Castle High School, Ocherius High School, Marcus Garvey High, St. Anne's Bay Campus. St. Mary, Aracabessa High School, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Portland, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Rock Hall Primary School, Mount Pleasant Health Center. Hanover, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Lucy Health Center. Sandy Bay Health Center. Persons should take their vaccination card, a government-issued ID, or letter from a justice of the peace to the sites. Let's get vaccinated and get back to life.
Hey, this is Latoya HD, and you're tuned in to Engage with Kalando on Love 101.
All right, here we go. Welcome back to your Drive Time Entertainment Choice right here on the Family Station. So we invite you to break out the hot chocolate and popcorn if that's your thing. Nothing beats the cozy feeling curling up with the holiday treat to watch the best Christmas movies of all time, all Christmas movies on Netflix or on a winter day. We just call it Christmas cool, right? So well, if you're listening from outside of Jamaica, where you probably are actually experiencing winters, and that's for you. There's something about holiday films that makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside, or excited and joyful and other things. And when it's a family-friendly movie that you can enjoy with everyone you love, from toddlers to adults, that's even better. That's true. If you're wondering what to watch with family this season, wonder no more, because Jamie Michael Movies is here with us to run through some of his suggestions. Welcome, Damien. Last time I saw you were on my TV on ER talking about The Eternals.
Yeah, that was I think, second to last one that I did. I'm also going to be on tonight talking about, we'll talk about a few of those movies coming out on this program. Hi, how are you doing?
How are you doing? I'm doing all right. I am looking forward to a break. It's coming up to that time, and I'm going to take a break, so I'm looking forward to that. How are you?
I tell you what, I'm looking forward to trying that sorrel jello that you suggested.
Oh, the sorrel jello. Well, okay.
Yeah, that is some brilliance I never thought about before, because I like jello and I like sorrel. We're putting them together.
Try it and let me know. I mean, I'm not really a sorrel fan, a jello fan, so we'll see.
All right. Well, I will let you know next time.
All right. So let's start with Netflix.
Right. So Netflix doesn't really have that much going on new this season with the Christmas movies, but they did have quite a few in the last few years that are very, very notable. Last year they had Jingle Jangle, which starred Forrest Whitaker and Felisa Rashad. It's this really charming movie about this little girl who is trying to get closer with her family. Her father was an inventor, but then things went wrong when his invention was stolen by a rival toy maker. It's really, really visually interesting and very, it's a sweet movie. And I remember watching it last year. I was curled up with a blanket and some hot chocolate, and it's just the perfect Christmas movie to watch with your family. Another one Netflix has is Klaus, which is this really interesting take on the Santa Claus, mythos and legend. It's really, really well done. If you're looking for something animated to watch this year, you can watch that one. And that one actually, I think, was nominated. I don't know if it won, but it was nominated for an Academy Award that year. So it's really got some higher praise, that movie. There's also a set of Santa Claus movies that they have put out called the Christmas Chronicles. The first one I remember centers on Santa Claus's sleigh gets knocked out to the sky, and it's up to these two kids to help him to get back to the North Pole. As you can imagine, they go through some hijinks, and that one is a straight up comedy. So there we have a comedy, an animated classic, and we also have Jingle Jangle, which is a kind of like a musical looking. So Netflix has a good diverse array of Christmas movies if you're looking to look for something different this year.
Cool. And then I see here you HBO Max. So those who've got that, there's something you're recommending called 8-Bit Christmas.
So this one I haven't seen yet, but I have heard some good word of mouth about it. It's called 8-Bit Christmas. It's on HBO Max, which just launched in Jamaica or in the Caribbean June of this year. So if people haven't checked out HBO Max, see if you can get onto that free trial. And 8-Bit Christmas is apparently supposed to be a very good one that people can check out. And it's set in the 1980s, and it's about the rush to get the hottest Christmas items around that time, and it's really a nice look back to what it was like in the 1980s. I of course know nothing about being in the 1980s since I wasn't born yet, but for people who had lived through that time, it will be a nice retrospective for you, and for young people like me, you can learn a little something about what it used to be.
Right. Well, funny that you say that. I was born in the 80s. But anyway, so in the cinemas, you go, and you've got quite a few here that you are recommending. So
yeah. So the cinemas don't really. Right. So the Spider-Man No Way Home is the biggest movie of the year. It's actually on track to be the biggest movie since the pandemic, because as we all know, the cinemas haven't really been attended to as much as they used to be before the pandemic. But we're looking at pre-ticket sales for Spider-Man, and they're knocking out records for movies that were coming out before the pandemic hit. So people are really anticipating this movie. It's supposedly supposed to bring back the past Spider-Man from the other Spider-Man movies, the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. So people who grew up with those Spider-Mans, when they come into this movie, they're going to have their minds blown, I think. And it's a continuation of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so you can expect that same level of quality that you've been seeing on those other Marvel films. So I'm really looking forward to that one. That one comes out in just 2 weeks' time. So people can, I don't know exactly when our third company plans to show it, but I would assume it will be on the same day of December 17th. So people, please check out that one and keep yourself posted for that. You want me to go to the next one?
Yes, Encanto.
Right. So Encanto is another Disney film that just came out. I actually saw it just a couple of days ago, and it is in the same vein of Moana or Frozen. Those modern Disney movies that center on this a strong female character that is feeling ostracized from her family and goes on a journey of self-discovery. But at the same time, it's really, really funny. The music is great in it. Anyone who has seen in the Heights or Hamilton, the songwriter from those movies, Lin-Manuel Miranda, he lent his, and also he wrote music for Moana as well. So people who are familiar with his work will have a good time with these songs. They've been replaying in my head all day. It's one of those movies that when you watch it, you'll go home and you'll check out the soundtrack, and it will you won't be able to escape it for a good month or so. So just look forward to that. And then coming out of the fantasy for a bit, we've got the real world story of King Richard, who is the father of Venus and Serena Williams. Now, this movie it's really touching. It shows how they became the tennis titans that they are. And it shows just exactly what you have to go through to get to that place to be an icon. Because Venus and Serena, they're living icons today, but how did they get to that point? And it shows you that it was because of the focus and the determination of their father. And he's not the nicest dad. He's very strict and stern, but he's a very complex character. Say again?
And he got it done.
He got it done. He got it done. And Will Smith gets it done in this movie. It is one of the best performances of his career. He is not the Fresh Prince anymore. He is King Richard. He did a great job with this movie, and I think he is a shoo-in for the Oscar this season. But actually, there's another person who we're going to talk about for another film later on that might be a contender. But the next one that I wanted to talk about is The Matrix Resurrection. This is the return to the Matrix franchise. I think in it's 2021 now. Last Matrix movie was 2003. Doing the math on that, that's about 17 years or 18 years since the last Matrix movie. It's been a long time since we've seen the world of the Matrix, and the entire cast is coming back. Keanu Reeves is back in it. If you're a fan of the Matrix, I don't know how you're going to be able to resist this one. I'm actually quite nervous about it because I don't know if it's going to hold up to how
I like the Matrix, the entire thing, but I feel like those people are old.
They are quite. They're not spring chickens anymore. Although Keanu Reeves, for some reason, he doesn't age. He just grows facial hair and grows his hair out longer. But I don't know if he can do the same stunts he used to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying there. That would be interesting to see. I think I'll read, kind of get a sense of what it's like before I say, yeah, let me go see it. Otherwise, I'll wait for it to come on some streaming service or on cable or something before.
Well,
What is it supposed to be?
Oh, well, it is going to be out on HBO Max about a month after it's released in theaters because it's a Warner Brothers movie. So you won't have to wait too long for it to come to streaming.
What is it supposed to be about?
What is it supposed to be about? We actually don't know. The trailers for the movie have been very, very, tight-lipped on what the story is. The theory has been, because there's a point in the movie where they bring up him going back to the Matrix, but a point in the trailer, it looks like he's talking to his therapist. So I don't know if it is that in the movie he's in the Matrix and he has this idea in his head that it wasn't real, and he's trying, because fans of the Matrix, and if you haven't seen it, then I'm about to spoil it for you just a little bit. So if you don't want to hear that, then just plug your ears for a second. But it's called Resurrection for a reason. So I don't know exactly what is the story reason as to why he's brought back, but I'm interested to find that out, and I really hope it does the original story justice.
All right. And then we've got West Side Story and The Tragedy of Macbeth. Those two are on your list before we have to skedaddle and get some other stuff going.
Right. West Side Story, that's the remake of the classic musical, and Tragedy of Macbeth is starring Denzel Washington and Frances McDormand. Denzel is actually who I'm thinking might give Will Smith a run for his money coming the Academy season, but we'll talk about that when it's time for the Academy Awards. And just before we go, I just wanted to talk about a few of my favorite Christmas movies. If you want to revisit some classics, of course, It's a Wonderful Life. It is something that I have to watch every year. It's just a movie that reminds you to be grateful about life and everything that you do, and just to take every day as a chance to do something good for other people. And that's what the Christmas spirit is really all about. And opposite of that is, of course, the Grinch. Absolutely hates Christmas, but of course learns to love the season and to be good to your fellow man. Same as the movie Scrooged, which is the 1988 version of the Christmas Carol classic story with the three ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. That stars Bill Murray, and it is also one that I watch every single year. And a very, very personal favorite of mine that I don't always get around to watching Christmas time, but it's called Arthur Christmas, and it's about this battle between the sons of Santa Claus as they vie to see who will become the next Santa Claus when their dad eventually retires from the position. And if anyone is watching the show Succession right now on HBO, probably if you're watching that show, Arthur Christmas is like a kid-friendly version of that. There's no cursing, there's no gratuity, there's no nudity. It's a family drama kind of comedy where these two brothers bickering about who should be the next Santa Claus, and it's really, really funny, really, really clever, and a nice take on the Santa Claus concept.
Thank you so much, Damian Michael Movies, for starting by today and giving us what we should put on our Christmas watch list. Netflix, HBO Max, and what to expect in the theaters. We'll come back and talk Oscars, you say?
Yeah, we should definitely do something around the Oscar season, maybe some predictions and just a rundown of what's coming out in the year to come. Because as the pandemic winds down, the theaters are gearing back up, and we are gonna get people back into the cinemas again. People, please support your cinemas. Go out as much as you can. The drive-in is a great experience. I can't recommend it anymore. But I just want people to support the theaters because that is where people need to be. It's a good time, great for your families, and yeah, just please support the theaters.
All right, thank you, Damon. Talk soon. All right, and then from that,
All right.
Okay, Damon, take care. So I'm going to tell you what's coming up. Is that where I'm going? Yeah, I'll tell you what's coming up for the weekend. Well, if you're in the mood, stop by Grizzly's Plantation Cove in Priorston and tomorrow for the return of the coconut market at the Cove. Spend the day browsing unique handmade items from Jamaica's most talented vendors. The back is free to the public, and everybody's welcome. The COVID restrictions, though, will be strictly enforced. So see you with that. It's after 10. Northgate High School presents a virtual event called Laugh It Off Just Because. It happens on Sunday, December 5, and will feature comedic actors as for Johnny Daly and Leighton Smith. $3,000 gets you in. That's Jamaica, or $20 US. The ticket purchase can be made at open.com, and proceeds of the show will go to the Northgate High Education Fund. It's at 5 o'clock. Craft presents a paint and sip under the sea in Tropical Christmas. This one happens tomorrow. The Hub, which is 34 Lady Musgrave Road. And if you want to go to that one, the admission is $3,000 per person. They get started at 2. It is during this exciting time of year as we begin to take stock of how abundant and miraculous our lives truly are. It is in those times that we are reminded more than ever of the many people in the world, perhaps not as fortunate as ourselves. So, are you considering doing a charitable deed this Christmas season? Well, if you are, take a listen to this.
Hi everyone, it's Stacey Ann Smith, founder and director of Pursued International Foundation. And it's that time again, Christmas in the City, where we go out and share the love of God with the women we serve. Every year, we give out 50 grocery packages to commercial sex workers in the Kingston and St. Andrew region. This year, our hope is to give out 100 grocery vouchers to the women that we serve. Why grocery vouchers? Well, one, we don't have anywhere to store or store packages that we do get as donations. But more importantly, the women are unable to move freely with the packages that we give them. Giving a grocery voucher allows them the flexibility to move around and the dignity to be able to purchase what they want when they want it. So how can you be a part of it? You can follow us at Pursued International on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter to learn more about our organization and to share the information. 2, you can head to our website, pursuedinternational.com, to find out our banking details and how you can donate to the cause. It's Christmas in the City, and you can help us to do what our goal is, which is to go where they are.
There you go. So, Pursued International. Get going with Christmas in the City. That takes care of a weekend or event series sponsored by StoreOpen.com. It's a Jamaican online platform designed to simplify online payments for charities, churches, event organizers, and micro business owners. To register your event, you can go to StoreOpen.com/events, then click the button that says Get Started Now. Guess what? The registration is free, and your event doesn't even have to be a paid event. All right, so you got to stick right there. Your world of music comes up. Christmas is definitely in the air, and we just want to add a little to the feeling of blessings, of feeling in blessing you with some tunes to get you in the spirit. We got Kevin Downswell, Mary Did You Know, Ledisi, Give Love on Christmas Day, Pentatonic, Little Drummer Boy, and my pick is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas by Ella Fitzgerald.